The Iguamo River is one of the main rivers in the province of San Pedro de Macorís. It originates in the Central Mountain Range north of the province and flows south to the Caribbean Sea, crossing the western part of the municipality of the same name. A few decades ago, this river was a source of work for fishermen and the gateway to sugarcane exports. However, today the situation of the Great Iguamo River is depressing thanks to the contamination that besieges it. Its waters are victims of solid and industrial waste. Part of its vegetation was replaced by slums that lack sanitation and efficient garbage collection. This leads the inhabitants to pour their waste into these aquifers. In addition, few industries have sewage treatment plants for wastewaters. The inflow of sewage is the main cause of the gradual degradation of its waters, restricting its priority uses for human consumption, industrial, irrigation, and recreational use. This is due to the lack of efficiency in the sanitary sewage system and water purification. During our tour of the Iguamo River, we saw houses and shacks in devastating conditions at its banks, and children bathing in the contaminated waters without weighing the danger they represent. In the water, there were tires, cans, and plastic, among other waste materials. This situation seems to go unnoticed in front of the nearby residents who are already accustomed to the current state of the Iguamo. This contamination of the Iguamo causes many issues. It is at fault for propagating the outbreak of contagious and infectious diseases. The contamination makes its waters unsafe for human consumption. It also affects the mangrove, fishes, and other species and its ecological beauty. To solve these problems, one must carry out educational campaigns to achieve positive attitudes towards water conservation and raise awareness about the harmful effects of improper waste disposal with the local residents. The locals should be educated to not throw away any toxic waste or any acid or detergent that can cause further contamination to the river. Organize and carry out cleanups on the banks of the rivers to minimize the waste. The environmental institutions also need to make sure that the industries respect the environmental policies towards waste disposal. Moreover, there should be an initiative to build latrines and septic tanks, as well as wastewater treatment plants. To conclude, the Amarillos, during their journey through the Iguamo, became more aware of the critical situation of this river and can now offer their perspective and suggest possible solutions that would favor the restoration of these waters.